been job losses, drastically increasing costs of living, as we're hearing. Now, as we seek avenues of survival and assistance, let's speak now to an expert in advice, especially how you manage your money. Conversation now I'm going to have with Gerald Mwandiambira. He's the Chief Executive of the South African Savings Institute. Gerald, good afternoon. Welcome to the Media View on ENC. I mean, I guess to say it's tough times for everybody is like an understatement. I mean, it's really a battle out there for survival, and the coronavirus pandemic has exposed the fact that we as South Africans are not a savings type of nation, something that your institute for years has been preaching and advising on. But here we are today. What can we do?
Look, I think you hit the nail on the head. Just before you, just after you introduced me, you said that we're in survival mode. So there's different elements of saving, and at this point in time, you want to save on what you have, the little you have. So it's not a situation where you can save a surplus. Indeed, many South Africans who had a surplus and savings have used it up during the months of COVID. And a lot of people have reduced income and in worst case scenarios, lost their income altogether. So I would say, look, if you're in that survival mode, there's areas which you need to look at trying to save or create money you don't have. I usually use the acronym FATE, F-A-T-E. F standing for food. Try and save on your food, on your grocery bills. See how you may have any wastage going there. Recycle leftovers, cut down on meal sizes. See how best you can economize on your food bill. A is for accommodation. Now, accommodation could mean moving back with family ekasi, or being in a situation where you rent out a room or two in your home if you are privileged enough to have many rooms, simply because you want to try and get the most out of your property or out of your living space. And if you can move out and rent it out, even better. Try and avoid that bill for a while. T stands for transport. Now, many people have already saved on transport because they've been working from home. And indeed, when you're working from home, you've managed to cut back. But we now have these hybrid working hours where people are in the office 2-3 days a week alternating. And obviously, that's starting to put pressure on people going back because suddenly they have to commute again. Try and save on your transport bills. See how you can, save on your transport. And the last E can be either entertainment, if you're young at heart and someone who still feels their blood rushing and you need to get out frequently, or E could be for education. A lot of people are hard pressed in terms of private schooling, and a lot of parents who I have encountered are starting to consider seriously moving children onto online learning full time. And it could be just for a season, but we need to really do, as you said, get into that survival mode because the surplus is simply no longer there.
Could E be, let me take a chance here, Gerald, could E also be exclusion in the sense of what are these things that have been part of my life under the old normal world, whatever that was, and I can begin to exclude now and look at things differently and focus on what matters?
Definitely, I think you've created a new one there. E could be exclusion on food. Take some food out which you were eating in the old normal. E could be exclusion on accommodation. E could be exclusion on your transport, less places to go. And definitely E could be exclusion on the friends, the family. Some of those people who, during the pandemic were never there, but suddenly they're reappearing again as the levels ease up. I think we need to exclude a lot of spending, which we used to do simply because the income is just realistically not there. So you cannot realistically save from a position of surplus.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, currently there's no room for saving anything. But the lessons here is as things begin to turn, maybe in your individual world and maybe the rest of the world, slowly we begin to find ourselves having reached what do the scientists call it, population immunity or so-called herd immunity, and things begin to, I think the lesson would be as soon as you are able to put away that rand.
Definitely. Start saving as soon as you can. And let's realize that we are now living in a new normal. So the budget you used to do 18, 20, 24 months ago is no longer applicable. I think we need to restate our budgets and redefine what we are feeling comfortable with in terms of being our baseline cost of living, and start from there, and then you will probably start finding that as things improve, you could start being able to be in that position where you start putting money away. And another way of exclusion, which we can touch on, is insurance. Don't cancel your policies, but exclude some of the benefits which you might not be needing right now. On your bank charges, exclude some of the excess bank charges. You know, the airport lounge, you've been paying for it for the last 18 months, but no plane was flying. So try and exclude a few things on some of these benefits which you're currently used to.
Thank you very much, Gerald Mwandembira. He's, of course, the CEO of the South African Savings Institute. Some very common sense advice there, some of it good. Yeah, the world is a different place now. Try to change your mindset around your finances as well. All of us, it's applicable to all of us.